So, good morning. I wanted to talk about I made a major mistake. It was pretty major. It was a major, major mistake. Um, and I realized it in the middle of the night. I had been talking about my pearl of great price, and actually Jesus said the pearl of great price is actually the kingdom, which is actually living in the love and goodness and grace of the Most High God. And I had been putting my pearl once again outside of myself, outside of um, of God. Um, and so I'm getting back and going back to my that my pearl of great price is living in the love of God, and then whatever happens from there is great. Because remember, Jesus said that you seek ye first, and everything else will be given unto you. So, I wanted to also talk about that. I really my deeper intention in life was to really make an impact, to really make an impact on the world, to make the world like literally a better place. It was my greater intention. And so God knows us, God created us, God knows us like intimately. And so God knew that this is what I wanted. And I woke up today, or I get a lot of inspiration in the night. I've told you guys that. And I deleted one video, but because I had to. I had spoken about something that I didn't want getting like to be out there, so I pulled the video. But I wanted to go back to one of the stories that I told in this video that I thought was super interesting. I had watched this interview between Wayne Dyer and Esther Hicks, and in the interview, Wayne Dyer had talked about how he gets inspiration in the middle of the night. Like he gets woken up multiple times a night. And then Esther had said that she doesn't understand why it has to be in the middle of the night. And I totally get it. Because I get inspiration all night long, and luckily I'm able to fall back to sleep. So, um, anyway, but I was getting this inspiration that I've been studying like the greatest spiritual minds on the planet. Like, it's so weird. I mean, I've been studying the greatest spiritual minds on the planet. And it started out with, I'm really sorry about that sound outside. Hopefully it'll go away soon. Um, I started out with like the Bible. I started out with the Bible, and the Bible left me wanting, because there was so much in it, like God telling people to go in and kill every animal, man, child. I mean, that didn't make any sense to me. Like, why would God want his creation killed? Like, it made absolutely no sense. And there's too much putting human attributes onto God in the Bible. However, I do take a lot of what is said in there and have built my life around it. And I've talked about that over and over again. And then I discovered Neil Donald Walsh, and he was like the first one that gave me like something outside of my the Bible. That was my first book that I read. And I'm not sure if this is in the right order, but and then Don McGill Ruiz. I absolutely love him. His Four Agreements. And then, of course, I told you guys I studied this guy. I'm trying to figure. I mean, they all had an impact on my life, but I feel like David Hawkins, like really, really, really changed my life. And you can tell I read it because the book is completely demolished. I need to buy this again. And that's called The Eye of the Eye. And then you got Thich Nhat Hanh. I had multiple books of him. Probably not every book he's written, but I absolutely adore this man. And the impact that he has had on the planet. I don't know if people realize his past, but he actually worked with Martin Luther King. He was really instrumental in peace in the in the Vietnam War. This man is just incredible, and I have his Plum Village on my YouTubes, and I get them. Like I got one yesterday that was just absolutely fabulous. And then you've got Deepak Chopra, and I actually don't have the book cover for this, but it's called How to Know God. I have the Dalai Lama, Live a Better Way. This is hilarious, you guys. I'm like going through, and then you've got like the Energy of Prayer by Thich Nhat Hanh. Oh my God, and oh, I can't even tell you how many of his YouTubes that I've watched. Like, they're not necessarily of him, although some of them have him in it. But Alan Watts. Alan Watts has had an amazing impact on my life. I actually, he got me through like a really, I was having real issues with something, and I used to put my earphones on and go to this event and just listen to him while I was watching. And he's just so incredible. And then, of course, Wayne Dyer had been, this is probably the only book I read. I started watching him when he was doing PBS specials, but his career really changed. And I feel like a lot of the spiritual leaders like started out with, being very, a little bit secular, and then moving into that there is nothing outside of the power and love of God. There's nothing outside of the power and love of God. So they all moved to understanding that it is living in the love and grace and power and inspiration of the creator of worlds. They all eventually come to that. And then you have, or I have, I'm not even sure how to say his name, but this is my Hindu text that I have read some of. I actually have a little bit harder time with Hinduism because it's a little bit more foreign to me. But I did find, you can tell because I've tabbed them. I put like tabs in where, whatever was said was like of inspiration to me. I put these tabs in so you can tell that I found inspiration from this. And then I wanted to talk about Amelia Benz. Amelia Benz is an incredible spiritual leader on our planet. And it was a dear friend of mine that did this cover. She did this cover and the back cover of this book. And then, of course, I have Dr. Joe Dispenza. I actually, this is the only book I've ever, I'm embarrassed to say this. This is the only book I've ever read of his. I had mostly watched his YouTubes, but they had like an incredible impact on my life. Just an incredible impact. And like I don't know, since 2012, I think I watched his videos when I was trying to heal myself from, I was really sick. I mean, I was really sick, and the doctors had basically told me my diet wasn't doing anything, and just go home and deal with your illness. And they just didn't really know what to do. And if I was going to live, I was going to have to, with the help of inspiration, I was going to have to heal. I don't even say heal myself. We healed me. It was an effort. And so anyway, all right. Well, I just wanted to share that because I actually was thinking about how this is like the highlight of my life. Like, it's like the coolest thing to, and then I had shared with you all that it was the knowingness of what was already there. It was like the knowingness that I already was living in the love of God, but didn't know it. Like, I don't know how to describe it exactly. And also, I wasn't dreaming big enough. I mean, that's another thing. My dreams were just too small because I didn't believe that I could achieve them. I didn't know that intention could actually bring about world peace. I didn't know that. And so it was the knowingness that I already had everything, that it's not me, it's we, that we already have everything, abundance and beauty. I mean, look at our planet. We get to live here. It's pretty cool. Anyway, all right, I'll be back. All right, love you guys.